Hello, YouTubers. It is me, Mr. Zero. I'm looking at myself right now and realizing how tired I look. That's part of my problem. I always do my videos late at night because it's the only time I have really to do them, where I can have peace and quiet to do them. And these vlog style videos, not the clown style ones, but the vlog style ones. Here, I'll make things better. This is what I'm going to be talking about anyway. These vlog style videos I rarely watch. I just put them out there and see if anyone watches them, and I get like maybe 3 or 4 hits on each one. But I decided to go back and watch some of them, and I realized what my problem is. My problem is very simply I sound like a crazy person. I'm ranting. I'm hard to understand, first off, and that's because I've got like overlarged tonsils. I tend to have problems with my sinuses. So those two things, plus I've just always been a mush mouth, and I'm working on enunciating more. But besides that, I also tend to jump around a lot, and I'm like listening to myself saying, boy, do I jump around on subjects really quickly? It's hard to follow me. And there's a reason why. I know the reason, and I'm going to share that reason with you. Was I sound like a crazy person because I kind of am a crazy person. Um, I went ahead a few years ago. My mom went and put the money down, thought it would be a good idea to see what it is that was wrong with me. And I went and I spent a day with the psychologist and got tested for a diagnosis. It's something that it's very expensive to get done, and and it's a good way to get it done. And to explain what it's like, you're being interviewed by a guy, and he sits there and he asks you a question. You give maybe a 2 sentence response, and he spends like 5 minutes typing on his laptop. He's watching everything you do, and part of the battery of tests I did, I took a personality test, which he said that the way I did the personality test, I did it wrong. I failed a personality test. He said that I was making it sound, my problems sound worse than they really were. In fact, he even told me this during the interview. He said a good song to describe me would be the song Desperado or Behind Blue Eyes by The Who. And at the time, I didn't really feel offended, but later on, I'm going, well, that's kind of because the song is kind of a self-indulgent little whiny song when I thought about it. Behind Blue Eyes is kind of a this is your song. No one knows what it's like to be me, 'cause I'm not you. Behind blue eyes. Which way do I sound more natural? I'm distracting myself again and I get lost. So I go through these battery of tests, and then he sends the info, and then I have to sign a release. So he sends it to a therapist. That therapist started working with me a little bit on the information, but then he quit his private practice and sent me to another therapist. So I had to fill out another release, and we were beginning to get in on what my diagnosis was. Um, and things came out about IQ levels and personality disorders and things like that. Um, and I don't remember the exact wording of it, but the words that were used in my diagnosis was I it might have been schizotypal personality disorder with avoidant personality disorder tendencies, or maybe it was all just schizotypal tendencies mixed with avoidant personality tendencies. So I don't know if he said I had full blown schizotypal personality disorder or if I'm just heading in that direction. And for those of you who don't know what that all means, schizotypal personality disorder is a person who their behavior kind of apes that of schizophrenia. A lot of children of schizophrenics end up they have an increased chance of becoming this way. Um, they end up being kind of weird. Two popular cases that you get to see on TV, or not TV, but in movies that I've seen used to describe schizotype to give you a base understanding of them is Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver and um, Napoleon Dynamite was another one. I got this book that was listing like relationships with various, because there's not a lot written about schizotypal personality disorder. They usually talk about schizophrenia, schizoaffective, and schizoid, or schizoid. I've even heard it referred to schizoid personality disorder, but not schizotypal. Some people even claim that schizotypal doesn't even really exist. I've also heard it called schizotypal for the record too. But anyway, so this book on personality disorders, they start off with like the more harmless ones, and they named, with schizoid, they're basically like loners. They like to do their hobbies. They're kind of geekish but quiet, and they are in the background. Schizotypal are a bit more out there. They're a little bit nuttier too, a little bit weirder. Um, and this book said that a good like example, if you want to watch a movie that gives you an example of that kind of behavior, Napoleon Dynamite, which is odd enough because when I first saw that movie, um, I related to the character, and I also I knew guys just like these characters. The losers at school, hung out, kind of separate from the rest of school. Um, so yeah, and this book says that they're very creative people, but very weird, and that's how I've been described by some. Crazy has been the word used. Weird, crazy, um, not scary ever. People don't find me scary or threatening. Just weird. I find myself weird. And so that's the reason why I decided to throw it out there. If you watch my videos and you think this guy's nuts, there's a reason why. It's because he's not all there anyway. He's got some quirks to him. Behind blue eyes. So, and you know who else I think has this disorder? I think Tim Burton has it. If you look at that guy is a weirdo, very creative, and he's such a loner that he lives in a house separate from his um baby mama. They don't they don't live together. They live in adjoined houses that are adjoined by one door. That's just brilliant. That's just brilliant. If you could talk your lady into that, saying, "Hey, honey, let's get two houses, join them by a door. You keep your stuff how you want. I'll keep my stuff how I want it. I'll come visit you. You come visit me. Whatever. We'll have date night at my house, date night at your house. I'll sleep over, you sleep over. But when we're getting on each other's nerves, we got a whole other house to go rampaging around in." Then my wife would probably yell at me, "You don't clean your house enough. I've been to your bathroom. It's filthy." That's the way it is. No one knows what it's like. Oh, you don't need to hear me sing anymore. So, alright, schizotypal power.